welcome to this week's Indian Lake Fishing Report. I'm going to give it just a few minutes here and see if we can get a few people in here. I know I'm doing this kind of on some off hours here. I wanted to go live today because I just come off a 72-hour catfish tournament and I have quite a bit of video in here and I didn't want to load my phone up any further. So if we give this just a minute here, this week's fishing report is going to be just a little bit different. There's a couple things I'd like to address or talk about. And as always, this week's fishing report is brought to you by Mike's Bait and Tackle, Route 235, Lakeview, Ohio, and powered by all those awesome sauces from Urbane Farm Products, available downtown Lakeview, Ohio at the depot. Glad we got a couple people in here. I'm going to give it just a minute here, see if we can get a couple more in. I was just saying this week's report's going to be just a little bit different. A couple things I'd like to talk about. I can start with saying we've got some beautiful weather right now. The last couple of days and into the end of this week and weekend's going to be great. Perfect for mixed bag fishing. Mixed bags are being produced right now due to this cold front. Everything's cooling off. It's bringing the fish up. The white bass were running pretty hard when it was hot. They would seem to be concentrating where there was water flow. That was any of the channels that continued from one side through the other back into the main lake. There was a nice current. They were staying deep. Even though you might not have seen them popping the top of the water, if you seen a minnow up top jumping, they were down there chasing them deeper. So you probably might have to relocate those white bass. But it's safe to say you'll probably find them at Moundwood area regardless. But I would check the channels and bridges. The perch, the bluegill, they were all deeper and up against the seawalls, rocks, under docks, anywhere where it was shaded. So that's all going to change a little bit. You're going to have to readjust your game finding these fish. I don't have a bunch of accurate reports right at this minute. I've been catching up on my sleep. I feel good now. 72 hours straight with only a few hours sleep, that wears on anybody. So that's pretty much the report. And regardless of what's being reported caught or not being caught, right now the flathead, they're still on biting those live baits, live bluegill, gut bluegill. They're getting them. Channel cats are still biting good too. So good luck to everybody out there in your search and finding them. You might have to up your game, like I said. So a couple things I wanted to talk about, and it's not meant to single anybody out or piss anybody off. That's just the way it is. I don't let things bother me, but there is one thing that I wanted to address so everybody understands what's going on here. Yes, the Moundwood poop bandit is for real. And I actually laughed at some of the posts and comments. I haven't laughed in a long time. So I find it funny. But it's not really funny because, hey Tosh, how you doing? It's not really funny because it's not somebody that just had an accident or an emergency and had to go to the bathroom. I guess we could all say shit happens. But this is a reoccurring event. As a lot of you know, Tosh spends a lot of time organizing cleanup groups. And when those efforts are not in effect or there's not something organized being, group cleaning up, Tosh is always stopping somewhere and cleaning stuff up by himself. The last time I was at Moundwood Bridge fishing for flathead with Tosh, we went down there. Before we even started fishing, we started cleaning that bridge up. It was a total wreck. And in our search for garbage, we ran into the scene of the crime. And the person that's doing this at Dream Bridge leaves his trademark. He leaves whatever he wipes with. He leaves a diet or a Mountain Dew behind. And it's usually a box of Kentucky Fried Chicken, or I think it's Long John Silver's, whatever, Captain D's, whatever's down in that area, probably from Bell Fountain. I think Captain D's, whatever. And empty pack of Newport cigarettes. So it's not just one time, you know, it happens all the time. So that was being addressed. And yeah, everybody's making a joke of it. Yeah, it's for real. But in the meantime, for some reason, it just pissed somebody off to see that post in them comments. And what I wanted to address about that, and that's not the only thing, but I'm not going to get into some of the other things. You know, this is on a Facebook fishing page group that has almost close to, if not over 10,000 people on it. Now, there's people that just joined previously, like one situation, the prior day before, and he had a lot of input, a lot to say about some other things. Yeah, Tosh said there's 8,700 plus people in that group, and it's been a great group. I mean, a wonderful group of people that love helping each other. But for this gentleman, looks like he's been there for a while, hasn't contributed anything to the group as far as posts or sharing any help or information. All of a sudden, he's offended by seeing a pile of dew, you know, as a joke, but for real. And I guess that brought out the meaner side of him. You know, he wanted to go on and state that Tosh and myself turned that fishing page into an egotistical and a page that where we wanted to just sell our ideas and stuff. I'm not offended, but I wanted to make sure that you guys understand what that page is all about. And it's not mine. It's Tosh's. So I don't want to overstep my boundaries speaking here, but I do want to make sure this guy understands what's going on here. Yeah, I don't have an ego. I have fun. Okay. Now, for all of you that already know, if you watch any of that page, Tosh and myself catch the living shit out of fish and try to get it on film. Also try to share a way for you guys to learn. And by doing that, we support and always have local businesses around there. And if it's not a local business, it's a product from something that's somewhat local, or even maybe a little bit further away, but the products are made right here in the United States. But let's go back to the local business side of it. Yeah, Tosh and myself have made local businesses a lot of money. It's no secret. I'm not great at what I do. I'm not a fast talker. I'm not a movie star. I'm just an everyday regular Joe Blow on here that knows how to fish. But on the other side of that, out of that group, there's a lot of wonderful people on there. I've learned some things from people in that group. Well, let's go back to the side of making these businesses money. That generates money into the local community. And maybe the point that this guy's not seeing is when that happens, you're keeping them small bait shops open. But when that happens, take a look at this 72-hour event that just occurred. I call it a success. Okay, we were shorthanded. We did everything we could do. There were no hiccups per se. The job got done. Everybody jumped in, multitasked, and got things done with a lack of sleep. Okay, so I'm not selling myself short. I'm just getting to the very point of what happens here. And if it offends you that we're using products and we're acting like we have egos or whatever, there's a reason for that. When them businesses make that income, you're keeping them businesses open around the lake. It's no secret with COVID and everything that's went on in the past couple years, it's put a hurting on a lot of businesses around there. And so with those business, us using their products, making those businesses money, what you guys aren't seeing is in turn, those businesses have turned around and donated stuff for events, for cleanups, for children. That's more important to me. And I know it's more important to Tosh. Tosh gives away a lot of stuff on that page for children to encourage, the youth to get out and fish. Mad Cats. Mad. This is a prime example. When a company like Mad Cats jumps on board with Tosh to promote that youth fishing, and even though they did not sponsor this tournament, they went ahead and sent rods for the youth. We had other sponsors that jumped on board at the last minute because they like what they see. Without those sponsors, these things would not happen. So it's very important. It's a big cycle that supports what's going on. None of us are making any money from it, but it is generating money around the lake and back to the youth in these events. Yeah, Mike's Bait and Tackle donates. Bass Pro donates. Jeans Marine donates. A lot of the other businesses around there donate. Private individuals donate. Out of the blue, I had a gentleman that owns a seal coat company just walk up out of the blue while we was doing Saturday's live fishing report. Had a handful of brand new rods and reels. He said, guys, I just wanted to stop by and give you these for the kids to give away to them. That's amazing. But that's what happens out of this. So, if somebody wants to say we're egotistical, I'm not really egotistical, but you can get a big head when you catch a lot of fish and you can get it on film. That's a highlight of my day. And actually be able to show you guys, hey, this is what we're using. You don't have to buy that stuff. There's a lot of great bait companies out there, but that's who we support. And one of the coolest things behind the scenes that you guys may have not seen fully was we had at one time one person representing each bait and tackle place. Me from doing reports or whatever from Mike's Bait and Tackle. You got Tosh, he's tied in with Jeans Marine Bait and Tackle. And then we had Brian Neff, which was at the Pro Bass Shop. Brian's no longer there, but I thought that was the coolest thing. We could all fish together, get along, represented all three places. That was great. But that is no longer. So I didn't mean to get on a big rant and rave, but I just kind of wanted whoever doesn't understand what's going on In that how that cycles around, it comes back to the public. Like I said, none of us are making any money. Um, we're just doing it for the lake and for the children and anybody that wants to learn. And like I said, I learned stuff myself. You know, I haven't flathead fished before 2 years ago, so I'm still learning things, and I'll pass those things down. You know, and that's what it's all about, passing your knowledge down and other things. Um, there's a lot of wonderful people in that group that help. They give you the shirt off their back if they could. But that's all I wanted to say. I don't like to fight and argue with anybody, but I just find it funny that, it took a picture of a pile of crap for somebody to really come out and say how they felt about whatever. There's wonderful people here that do a lot of things for people. It is what it is, folks. But like I said, I want everybody to know exactly how that cycle works, with the support of the local businesses and what we do. If me and Tosh wasn't doing things together anymore, he'd continue doing what he's doing. I'd continue doing what I'm doing. It would be no different, you know. It's just one of those things that happened. We both kind of was going in the same direction, and kind of made some other things happen. You know, that's what it's about, man. Um, I'm looking forward to many, many more years on the lake if the good Lord let me live that long. I don't know. I might not be around tomorrow. I had a rough time there. Lucky to be here. So being down there at the lake, revisiting a lot of childhood memories with my grandfather passing things on down to me means a lot to me. And before I'm gone, I'd like to pass down whatever I have. So hopefully things are going to get better. I think I got a long road ahead of me. Um, some things are probably going to change on my channel. I really don't want to talk about it too much right now, but um, some things are in my life are going to change here. Probably be seeing more of me on lives, but I wish all of you the best on the lake. God bless you all, and if you have a chance, pass down that knowledge to the youth. Get them out there fishing. Get them off those Xboxes and off their phones for a while. Teach them something that'll last them a lifetime. And with some of the changes that are in the works that are happening to me here, I'm probably going to add a bunch of cooking, cast iron cooking to my channel also with fall coming up. You got a little better weather out there to sit around a fire, so I'm not going to stop fishing. I'm going to do as much as that as I can. So, folks, you'll see more of me. Don't think nothing of whatever. Um, Comments, whatever. Don't let any of that stuff bother you. Sometimes you got to put some people in their place so they don't run over not only yourself, but other people in the group or the whole group. Sometimes you have to call them out and put a stop to it. So, have fun with what you're doing. That's what it's all about. Those people usually rid themselves. I'll give you an example here. We called out one of the youngsters that popped on there. He was there the day before. So he come on there to start trouble. Do a little digging, find out he's a cadet. He wants to be a sheriff. He made comments like mud rats and blah, blah, blah. I mean, he give himself away. You know, I told that kid, you might want to carry yourself a little bit different if you ever want to end up on the police force as an officer, you know, coming into those pages, starting stuff, and it just don't get it. So everybody enjoy what you're doing. If you ever have any questions, you're free to mail me. You can mail me on my Facebook, message me on here. I'll help you any way I can. So will a lot of other people. So feel free to do that whenever you need to or want to. If anybody has any questions, hit me up on here. I haven't been looking at the comments. I didn't want to make it real long. I didn't want to turn it into a griping session. But I wanted everybody to realize how that circle operates when it comes to using other people's products and how it comes back to the community. So, everybody, you have a great weekend coming up. It's going to be a good weekend on the water with the nice temperatures. So, get out there. You should get a bunch of mixed bags going. Till next week, tight lines and solid hook sets. Take care, y'all.